Good morning, students. This lesson is for class 4 for the subject of General Science, topic Aquatic Plants, which is covered in chapter 5, Adaptations in Plants, starting on page number 61 of your textbook, titled New Trends in Science, Evergreen, and is being submitted to you on 16th of August 2021. Dear children, through our previous topic, we learned how terrestrial plants have adapted themselves to live suitably and comfortably in their environment. And through this topic, we'll be learning about the aquatic plants and their adaptations. First of all, it is important to know what are aquatic plants. The word aqua means water. So, the plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. These are of 4 types. And the number 1 is floating plants, fixed plants, underwater plants, and emergent plants. Let us first discuss the features of floating plants. Plants that float on water are called floating plants. These plants, they have got very thick and spongy stems. Light, thick and spongy stems that are filled with air so that the plants can float on the surface. These floating plants, they do not have fixed roots and their roots hang loosely in water. And these roots absorb nutrients directly from water. And one more thing, the stomata of these plants are found on the upper side of the leaves. And the examples are water hyacinth and wolffia and duckweed. These are the examples of floating plants. Now we'll be learning about fixed plants. Fixed, as the word says, the plants that have their roots fixed to the bottom of a pond are called the fixed plants. These fixed plants have got flat and broad leaves so that they can float on water. And their leaves have a waxy coating which prevents them from rotting. Fixed plants such as lotus have long, thin and flexible stems which are hollow and they sway with the flow of water but do not break by its force. And here the stomata are found on the upper surface of the leaves which helps them in absorbing and releasing the gases. And the roots of these plants, they absorb nutrients from the soil at the bottom of the pond. Now, learning about the underwater plants which are also known as submerged plants, and these plants, they grow completely underwater. These submerged plants have got thin and narrow leaves and the stems are flexible. The leaves have no stomata as they are underground, as they are underwater. So, the leaves have no stomata, hence they absorb carbon dioxide and oxygen directly through their. Underwater plants do not bear flowers and their roots absorb nutrients directly from the soil in the water bed. And the examples are hydrilla, tape grass and seaweed. And now the emergent plants. These plants have their roots in the water bed, but their leaves and stem extend above the water surface. And the examples are bulrush, cattail and arrowhead. They are the examples of emergent plants. So now before moving further in our topic, let us first recapitulate the part covered till now. Please write down the answers to the following questions in your notebook. Question number 1. What kind of stems do the floating plants have? Question number 2. What prevents the leaves of fixed plants from rotting? And question number 3. Which category of plants have no stomata? And in question number 4, you have to give 2 examples of emergent plants. Students, you may pause the lesson here for 5 minutes. Break time is over, students. Let us first check the answers for the following questions. Answer number 1. Floating plants have thick, light and spongy stems that are filled in air so that the plants can float. And number 2, waxy coating on the leaves of fixed plants prevents them from rotting. And answer number 3, underwater or submerged plants have no stomata. And the emergent plants are bulrush and arrowhead. So children, now proceeding to our next subtopic, which is the uses of plants. You all know that plants are very useful to us, and human beings depend on plants either directly or indirectly. So first of all, we'll see how we are getting the food from plants. Children, plants give us fruits and vegetables. Plants give us oil, nuts, pulses, tea, coffee, etc. Plants also give us cloth material. Cotton, jute, flax are used for making fibers which are then spun into yarn. And then as furniture material, trunk of shisham, teak, sal, etc. give us wood for making furniture, doors, etc. And then many plants like eucalyptus and tulsi, neem, they are used as medicinal plants as they have their medicinal values. Plants also give us important useful products such as rubber, oil, gums, resins, etc. So children, here we have completed with the explanation of the chapter, and now we will be discussing the questions and answers based on the complete chapter. So let us begin with number 1. We have to write 5 uses of plants as we did it right now. So the first uses, we get fruits, vegetables, cereals, pulses, nuts, oil, and so many other things from plants which are used as food by us. Then plants such as cotton, jute and flax are used for making fibers which are then spun into yarn. The furniture which we use is also provided by plants. Trunk of teak, oak, sal, etc. give us wood for making doors and windows. Many plants such as tulsi, turmeric, neem, aloe, ginger are used as medicinal plants. And we also get rubber, paper, gum, resins, fuels, etc. from plants. Now in question number 2, we have to differentiate between fixed plants and underwater plants. Now as we have already done all these 2 categories, so the fixed plants, they have flat and broad leaves to float on water. But the underwater plants have thin, narrow leaves and flexible stems. Fixed plants have their roots fixed to the bottom of the pond. But underwater or the submerged plants grow completely underwater. Stomata are found on the upper surface of the leaves in fixed plants. But underwater plants, the leaves of these plants, they have no stomata. Fine. In question number 3, we have to define the term habitat. The natural surroundings in which a plant grows is called its habitat. It is the place where plants can live, grow and reproduce. Number 2, adaptation. The features that help a plant to survive in their natural surroundings are called adaptations. And in question number 4, we have to write down what are breathing roots. Swampy and marshy areas have sticky and clayey soil. And this type of soil does not have air spaces in between as it is waterlogged soil. As a result, it becomes very difficult for the plants to grow here. And hence, the roots of the trees which are growing in such areas grow above the ground. And that is why these roots are known as breathing roots. Now children, the last question is question number 5. What are saprophytic plants? There are some plants such as mushrooms and molds. They cannot prepare their own food as they are non-green. That means they do not have chlorophyll. So they depend upon other plants and their decaying matter for food. And such plants are called the saprophytic plants. So students, with this, I am concluding this interactive session. And your home assignment for this week is you need to do the worksheet 2, which is given on page number 62 in your book. And then do the exercises A, B, C, D, E and F in your book only. And please write down the answers to these questions in your notebook neatly. Thank you.